The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. That's a quote by Dr. Seuss, and honestly, one of the realest quotes I've ever read. And the reality is, if you're not reading books, then I don't know if I can take you seriously when it comes to trying to be successful. Because there's another quote by, Mark Twain that goes something along the lines of, the guy who does not read, and again, I'm paraphrasing, I don't have this in front of me, but the man who chooses not to read books has no advantage over the man who can't read them, right? And that's the reality is you need to be reading books every single day if you're trying to be successful. You need to be learning every single day if you're trying to be successful. If you have big dreams, big goals, and you want to make something of yourself, you absolutely should be reading about people who have done whatever it is that you're trying to do. You need to be learning about how their mindset works, how they think about things, how they think about success, how they actually do different things, right? How they, how they manage their time, right? How they, network with other people, however they became an expert in whatever it is that they do, right? You need to be learning as much as you possibly can about the things that you want to do, right? In my case, I really do enjoy reading books. It's something that calms me down. It's something that has been a great habit for me. It helps me sleep. I do it before I go to bed. And it's something that I've committed to every single day. Every day I commit to reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book that is going to develop me personally in some way, shape, or form. It could be about anything. I mean, it could be about how to make money, how to invest money, how to, meet people, how to be a better communicator. One of the books I'm reading about right now is about Christian apologetics and how the Bible was put together, right? It can literally be about anything, but it has to be something that you're interested in, and it has to be something that you are, looking to learn more about. And you just commit to doing that every single day. Just read 10 pages a day, right? 10 pages a day for the rest of your life will turn you into a very, very, very successful and smart and well studied person. I promise you that, right? If you just do this for the next year, you're going to notice a massive difference. Do it for the next few months, and you're going to notice a massive difference, right? But you have to commit to this. You have to commit to being a lifelong student, as cheesy and cliche as that might sound. You have to be a learner. You have to be someone who takes their education seriously. We live in a very, you know, competitive society. You're competing not just with people in America, not just people with, that are down your street. You're competing with people on a global marketplace now. We all are, right? So we have to sharpen our education. We have to sharpen our skill set as much as we possibly can. We have to be on our A game every single day to be effective in the workplace, to be effective in the dating marketplace. We have to be on our A game at all times. We have to be good at everything. That's just the reality when you're a young man. And if you can commit to studying, if you can commit to learning, if you can commit to reading every single day, you are going to be so far ahead of all your competitors, your peers, however you want to look at it, the people who are your age and above your age. You're going to be so much farther ahead of them because they're not doing it. Most people do not read. That's just the reality. Most people would rather, watch Netflix, do anything else other than read. It's just not a priority to them. So where do you think they're going to end up in the next 5, 10 years if you're reading every single day, studying, taking courses, learning, watching YouTube videos about people who have done whatever it is that you want to do? How do you think you're going to end up as opposed to those people who are just watching Netflix and, doom scrolling on Instagram? It's not even going to be close, guys, right? You have to commit to learning every single day. You have to commit to reading books. You have to commit to following mentors, talking to mentors, taking courses, watching videos, all the above. It's not just reading. I mean, reading is what this video is about, but it's not just that. You should be consuming good, positive, productive information from all kinds of different sources to make you a better, more well-rounded man and someone who's going to be more useful in the world. That's what your goal needs to be, right? If you want to, I mean, just pick out a few things that you want to get better in. If you want to be a better communicator, which all of us should be, communication is one of the most important skills we can ever have, if not the most important skill, is learning how to be a good communicator. Read books on how to, start up conversations, how to make small talk. Even if you think you're pretty good at that, it's something to practice. I have to practice that. I know that. So if I have to do it, you guys have to do it, right? So read books about, communication, read books about sales, read books about how to meet people. If you're feeling lonely and you don't feel like you have very many friends, read books on how to do that. Read books on how to, be a better dad, right? If you have kids, a better, spouse, a better husband, right? If those are the things you're interested in, read books about it. Watch videos about it. Consume content that's going to help you become that better person. And when you're reading these things, by the way, or consuming this information, don't just zone out while you're doing it and just do it just to get it done. Be an active reader, be an active learner. Take notes, take out a pen and paper, write things down. Some of the most creative times in my entire life have come when I'm reading a book. And that's just the reality. I'll be reading something and then I'll get ideas and then I'll have to write those down. Then I'll, finish up with that and then I'll go work on those ideas. You get so much out of reading. It's not even, it's not always just the book that you're reading. It's the thoughts that, come into your mind while you're reading that. It's the focus, it's the, consistency that you're developing while you're finishing that book. There's so much you can get out of reading. Guys, I could not recommend this anymore, especially if you're a young man, especially if you're in your 20s or even before your 20s and your teens. This is a habit that you want to develop, I promise you, and it's going to make you a lot more successful, and it will 100% equate to you making more money long term if you can commit to learning, studying, developing yourself, and reading books every single day. And again, it's not a very expensive habit. You might buy a book off the shelf for $5, $10, and it's something that can change your life, as cheesy as that sounds. But that's just the reality. So, guys, read books, consume good content, get off of Instagram, focus on the things that are going to actually matter, which is your education, your skill set, and the things that you can do to bring value into the world, and focus less on the distractions of this world, right? Commit to learning every single day. Commit to reading at least 10 pages of a book every single day. And I promise you that's going to make you a better, more well-rounded, and just overall more effective human being in the world. And it's going to make you a lot more interesting as well. It's going to make you a better conversationalist. Whenever you're speaking to people, you'll have more data in your brain, more stories in your brain, for you to be able to communicate with people. And that's extremely valuable. People like people who are interesting, right? And if you read a bunch of books and you continue to do that every single year, you're going to naturally become a more interesting, inquisitive person. And that's just the reality, guys. So I highly recommend you do that if you're not already. I promise you it'll change your life if you commit to doing this for, at least a year. Just reading 10 pages of a book every single day. Let me know what this, does in your life. I'd love to hear it. If you guys want to comment on the video below, would love to hear, from you guys if this is something you're currently doing. If it's not something you're doing, I'd love to hear your thoughts and overall just hear if this is something that you guys have done in your life and if it's something that's helped or maybe it hasn't helped, but would love to hear your guys' feedback. I hope this helps you guys out. I wanted to drop this kind of a short little video just to give you um, one of the most valuable pieces of feedback that I've ever gotten, and that's that you need to be reading books, especially if you're a young man. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys. Let me know if it does, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.